The United States men's team dominated Martinique in Thursday's Gold Cup action. Daryl Dike with a brace, and even Mr. Own Goal making another appearance at a soccer tournament. 6-1's your final. Dike's double helps the Americans move on to the knockout stage, and they've improved to 37 victories, 1 loss, and 4 draws in the Gold Cup group stage. Berhalter changed 7 starters from last weekend's opening 1-0 victory over Haiti. Next up for the U.S., a Group B deciding match against Canada on Sunday to see which nation takes top honors and earns the 1 seed in the quarterfinals. Back for another great chat of soccer with our guys, the host of the Que Golazo podcast, Luis Miguel Echegaray, and the gaffer, Tomas Rongen. So, guys, takeaways from this victory over Martinique and really overall thoughts on the men's national team right now. There's sort of like that cartoon episode of The Simpsons with Grandpa Simpson walking in, taking off his hat, coming right back, putting his hat on, getting out. I feel like that's been the roster situation. Luis, I'll start with you. What do you think?
Yeah, no, it's been a very good run for the U.S. MNT. Obviously, ever since the Nations League and even before that, you could see that there's been a continuation of performance under Greg Berhalter. And what's really encouraging is obviously the depth, right? Because obviously at the Gold Cup, you don't have Christian Pulisic or other players who have European responsibilities. So you're leaving, the responsibilities to others like Daryl Dike, etc. So that's a good thing. I mean, but I want US MNT fans, because I have to be the one here in the room to be the realist, to everybody just calm down, all right? Because with all due respect, it is Martinique. It was a very good win, a very good performance. And again, I go back to that Mexico final win in the Nations League that could probably give us a better example of what they are like. And as you can see there, the U.S. obviously with 2 wins, and all they need to do with Canada is just see what they do and how they end up in Group B. So we'll see what happens towards the final, hopefully by the time they reach that. Canada, to me, will probably be the biggest test as we begin right now. But again, I reiterate one big point. This is all very good, but I want to see what happens as they get closer to World Cup qualifiers, etc. Because, this kind of confidence has been here before. But make no mistake about it, it's good to see, and of course, a philosophy and an identity clearly being led by Greg Berhalter.
Yeah, and I'm absolutely agreeing. The Gold Cup really starts now for the U.S. men's national team and Greg Berhalter. After a struggle against Haiti in group play, the first game 1-0, a resounding win against the Minnows, though, in CONCACAF. So that last group game against Canada, both at 6 points, both +6 goal differential, but Canada has a goal more, which means the U.S. has to win if they want to avoid Mexico in the next round and get in the opposite bracket. So huge game, obviously. And it's all about getting to the finals and being competitive with this young, new, mostly MLS team. It's all about finding maybe 1 or 2 starters for this World Cup cycle and looking at depth. So if I have to pick some players, Daryl Dike, the 5th pick in the first round. My God, what did these other 4 teams do, by the way? Because he's been a monster for Orlando FC and obviously went over to England as well. A price tag of $20 million, a brace on the day. Could have been a hat trick or that own goal as well. He's pushing Josh Sargent for that number 9 position right now. I still give it to Sargent, but if Daryl Dike continues, then Greg Berhalter has a pleasant, surprise, obviously. And this guy right here could be the starter. I like Busio from Kansas City, Sporting Kansas City, in midfield as well. Eric Williams of the Portland Timbers played well. They controlled. And another guy I really liked from NYCFC was James Sands. In a back 3, because Berhalter played out of a 3-4-3 this time, he was very composed. And let's be real honest, guys, we're still looking for a starter next to Jonathan Brooks in World Cup qualifying. So some very good and positive performances. Let's see now against Canada if some of those guys can continue that.
Canada beat Haiti 4-1. Again, it setups this weekend with the United States and Canada in the Gold Cup to wrap up the group stage. So, guys, we're just coming off, of course, the European Championship, Copa America. We got the World Cup in 2022 at Qatar. So we still have the Olympics to talk about. So if I were to ask you the best bet for the Summer Games in Tokyo, what would that be? Elami, I'll start with you again.
Well, it's clearly obvious that there's only one way going this way, and that's the United States women's national team. They are clearly so good. And even though they didn't win, I'm sorry, but we're talking about the men's. Well, from a men's perspective, listen, I think that Spain is clearly a leader here. I think that they have enough talent. Here's the thing about Spain, and apologies that I started the United States women's national team. They got me all excited earlier on. But Spain, from a men's perspective, they have such a youth and young development, and the squad is so deep that, as you can see, one of the things that you saw at the European Championships, by the way, is that they weren't just relying on their experience. They didn't have any Real Madrid players in the European Championships. In this tournament now, they have a plethora of talent going all the way into their early young 20-year-olds. I mean, look at players like Dani Olmo, etc. These are players that can really provide a lot of depth. And here's the thing, when it comes to Olympic soccer competition, the most important thing is to know who you are. You have to understand the kind of team that you are. And you have to go in that tournament understanding what the opponent is and how you're going to approach them. That's why I favor Spain. Of course, there's others like Brazil and France, etc. But to me, Spain is a clear leader.
Yeah, I agree with LME as well. You look at France right now, I like their two overage players. As we all know, in the men's side of the competition, it's up to 24 years old and 3 overage players. Florian Thauvin and Gignac, who right now are playing in Mexico for Tigres, are leading that group. I like Brazil. Hey, Dani Alves, by the way, 118 caps, that calming influence, getting a chance for the reigning Olympic gold medals, which is Brazil, obviously. Gabriel Martinelli is there as well, but Spain is the team to beat. Unai Simon started in the Euros. Pau Torres and Eric Garcia are the 2 center backs. They played many minutes in the Euros as well. You talked about Olmo. You talked about Oyarzabal, who became a starter for Spain as well. And then obviously Marco Asensio, but the biggest player and might win again, the best young player in the tournament will be Pedri. Pedri was outstanding in the Euros for Spain. They're so deep, they're so good. I just don't see any challenges of the other big nations.
All right, our thanks to Tomas Rongen and Luis Miguel Echegaray. We will be talking about the women's national team, of course, as they get ready to take their games to the Summer Olympics in Tokyo. Guys, thank you very much. I want to let you know about the Que Golazo podcast, which is Luis Miguel Echegaray's show. They were talking about Lionel Messi. We mentioned that yesterday, that new deal with Barcelona. Griezmann and Atletico could reunite. It's Fabrizio Romano, our soccer insider, with some transfer notes. Make sure to download and follow that today.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.